Who wants to hear about an alleged alternate ending for Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny?
Oh, another
Just
one?
kinda another one. Well, this was kind of rumored at the time, to be fair,
I was gonna say there's
but
the
this
one
is
that we rumored, yeah.
yeah. I mean, again, yeah, this was kind of rumored at the time. So the the rumor is the alleged alternate ending is that Phoebe Waller-Bridge, her character, it's her hand that stakes the claim on Indy's hat at the end. So a rumor provides details about an aborted ending for Indiana Jones, the Dial of Destiny, that depicted Phoebe Waller-Bridge's character taking Indy's hat and taking over for him. New rumor is from WDW Pro, who is pretty reputable, actually. Comes in the wake of numerous rumors that Lucasfilm and the Walt Disney Company planned to have Waller-Bridge's character take over the Indiana Jones franchise. Back in June, there was some information from DVD says 2 endings are supposedly being considered in the script. I guess they've been written in. They're going to shoot both of them. Both endings allegedly have old Indiana Jones dying at the end of this movie, but in one of the rumored endings, young Indiana Jones dies alongside old Indiana Jones, and Phoebe Waller-Bridge swoops in like a vulture, picks the hat up, and takes his place moving forward. And then there's one from the Daily Mail in September 2021. It says Phoebe Waller-Bridge is being tipped to replace the veteran actor as a female version of the fictional professor of archaeology in the adventure franchise. It'd be a huge statement and a great role for Phoebe. So the new thing, I'll just sort of scroll down. So the new rumor, I guess, but it's sort of already what we heard before. WDW Pro says shares highly specific details about the ending and how Phoebe Waller-Bridge's character would take Indiana Jones's hat and seemingly the franchise. So he said Indiana Jones was going to be lying on the grass with Archimedes there, but he was going to convince Waller-Bridge to leave him there and save Teddy and the others, go back through time. They could not take him back with them, and he would give her his hat, tell her it's time for her adventures, yada, yada, yada. She and Teddy and the other gentlemen that are there then attempt to escape through a very significant action sequence, and they go through the time rift, and then you find that she, after going back to the original date, that she would have learned her lesson in the final scene, where she's no longer out to make money off of these artifacts, but instead she's working to get them to museums where they belong. And then there was going to be a second appearance where, after that fades out, Indiana Jones is back with Archimedes in the past. It turns out that he had a clever plan an entire time, and that was that he tells Archimedes that he will explain the Dial of Destiny to him and tell him all the kinds of secrets if only he will write one special message on there. And he has him do so in a language Indy knows. The message is something to the effect of, tell her you love her and tell him he'll die if he goes to war.
That also sets up the Back to the Future ending I was talking about.
Yeah, and then it was going to go for the very last scene to Indy when he takes the Dial of Destiny from Basil. It goes to where Indy takes the Dial of Destiny away from him when he's supposed to destroy it, and then he sees that message in a language that he understands, and he gets kind of wide-eyed and shocked, and that was going to be the end of the film. It left the audience hanging as to whether or not he was successful in saving his marriage and saving Mutt based on the message that was sent.
See, and I had heard there was a version shot that did show that they had managed to change something in the past that, like, it was similar in the way that it ended now, but when he wakes up, he doesn't wake up in his bed, I was told. He wakes up in his chair like he was in the beginning of the movie, drunk, only when he wakes up, he doesn't have, like, the bottle sitting there and all that kind of crap, and he's woke up by Marion just walking in with groceries, and she doesn't say anything about the place being empty or whatever. She's just there, and he, like, looks at the fridge, and the divorce papers are gone. And I think there's, like, I can't remember, she says something about Mutt coming over for dinner or something like that, and it just basically implies that everything's back to normal and nothing is wrong now or whatever. And then I can't remember how else. I can't remember if Helena is still in that ending or not, because, like I said, this was months and months ago I heard about this. And that's what I had told it was referred to as the Back to the Future ending. Then they had the other more ambiguous ending, and then they had the original ending where she takes over and does all the adventures on her own or whatever. This sounds like it's somewhere in between those two. So who knows how many, because didn't Doomcock report that there was like 6 different endings or something like that? I'm not saying that that's an exact number, but I wouldn't be surprised.
What he did report, and we heard this too, was that there were a number of different endings and a number of different pathways to that ending, meaning that they could configure the movie any number of ways.
Hmm.
Same.
Sounds
He looks at the
bloody
fridge and an
terrible.
explosion goes off in the distance.
And that
Shit.
certainly does fit with what we saw in the final movie, because the final movie does kind of like this doesn't come naturally at all. The ending there, it does not flow from what came before. It was kind of like built up to Phoebe Waller-Bridge being the new Indiana Jones with her new short round. That's what the movie was building up to.
And given their track record, I 100% believe that there probably was an ending where she puts on the hat and all that sort of stuff. Like I can that's totally believable to me that they would do something like that.
Well, and I
This
mean, the
is the
version
thing,
we
is
got
it?
now. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, the thing is, it's not out the realms. Like as you say, right? You hear this and you go, "Well, yeah, of course," because this is what they do with everything. So,
Yeah.
you know, regardless of whether it's a rumor or not, it's incredibly believable. Like, would you put it past them? No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Like, of course they would do this. Unequivocally, they would. They, you know, it's not like some of these outlandish rumors that you hear that are so laughable. You just go, "Fucking Jesus, shut up!" Like, of course, like again, just for argument's sake, like the rumor that Robert Pattinson banged, what's her face on the Batmobile. I mean, that's just pure bollocks. Obviously, right? I'm not going to believe that.
I've
You
heard
know, I'm
enough
not
people. I didn't believe it.
I'm not going to believe it. Like, of course, obviously, but this you hear and you go, probably some truth to it. To be honest, probably some truth to it.
Well,
So yeah,
And then, you know, of course, John Williams came out and said that he had to go back and redo music for an ending. So he kind of confirmed that there was a new ending, you know, to the film, because he publicly came out and said that he had to go do new music.
What a shit show.
Not only that, I think what's her face? I just forgot her name. Karen Allen. I think confirmed that she wasn't brought in until way late in the game. And then she even had some off the cuff remark, I guess, to the effect, I'm paraphrasing here, that the old writers, the movies were more revolved around her and him, basically, or him and her and the romance or whatever. She didn't feel that way about this movie or something. I think she was kind of reacting to how do you feel about the criticism of the movie or something to that effect or whatever.
Yeah.
She was probably there for less than 3 days.
Not even, probably. Maybe a day.
A morning. Got to be a morning, surely.
I mean, if they actually shot 2 or 3 different endings with her, then maybe a day or 2. But like at the end,
but what we saw there, I mean, that was being on set 2-3 hours.
Yeah, a morning, literally. Get here at 9, leave at 12. There you go.
Bring in Karen. She's done. Okay, see you later.
Bye. Yeah. So anyway.